So here we got a 1987 Toyota 4Runner. Just pulled the engine out and got the block hot tanked, cleaned up. It's totally stripped down, nothing. God, these are the old bearings. Pretty up. This is nasty. Not exactly sure why this happened. I think it was an oil pressure problem, and maybe because I'm not sure, but this looks like 0.5 mil oversized bearings, and looks like they machined the old crank to be 0.02 inches oversized, which when you convert from standard to metric, I believe it's like 8/1000ths of an inch off. They're not actually the same, even though they're close. They're an 8/1000th of an inch is enough to do that, apparently. So I think that was just the machine shop who built this engine back in 2016. Castillo. I think they wrote it somewhere on here. Yeah. 10/27/16. Castillo. Y'all messed up, I think. I'm not really sure. It's my first time ever building an engine, so that's just my best guess. Let's take a look at the bottom. But everything looks, just got it back from Baja Machine Shop here in Vegas. They hot tanked it. I mean, I don't know. I kind of expected it to look a lot better than this, but I don't really know. Let's clean it up a little bit better. This is just the oil pan surface. This is really important stuff down here. I need using clean. Oh, I'm gonna switch over to the big camera. All right, so we got the main bearings installed in the block. So close. This one feels like there's a little bit of damage from the factory. right there. It's very slight. I'm not going to worry about it. Next is the crank. Alright, so I just put in the crank plugs as somebody drives by with a scooter. Those are in there, there's 4 of them. There's 2 more down there you can't really see. Now I gotta put the keyways in the front, I think, or no, I'm gonna wait on that probably. I don't know. I got like 1,000,000 gigabytes on that card, so. Oh, I forgot to put the thrust washers in. Oh well. Do this.
Yeah, it'll just have a lot of input.
That's cool. Let's see. Wow. Oh, that's smooth sailing. Yeah. 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 All right. That is so tits. So we got the crankshaft installed, all the main bearings on there, and it spins super smooth, butter, no tight spots, just juicy as hell. I'm gonna get to use the torque wrench now. Just bought a I need to stop cussing. Ugh. Got an Icon, Harbor Freight, torque wrench. Gotta find the torque specs in the book for this thing. Get those all torqued down to spec. This is an awesome book. This is the original 1987 repair manual from Toyota. Printed in Japan. It's pretty cool. Paid like $100 for this thing on eBay. I should really wash my hands before touching it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see here, but the maximum tolerance or maximum clearance between the bearing and the main cap is 31 10,000ths, or so around 3,000ths of an inch, and the difference between Mr. Castillo's machine job of 0.02 over and the metric, so standard to metric conversion, there's an 8,000ths error that he made, which is more than double the maximum allowed clearance. I mean, I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I'm pretty sure that that's the reason those bearings were completely torched and looked like the Grand Canyon. So now we're gonna do a plastic gauge measurement of the bearing clearance between the main and the crankshaft, and you use this, which is, this is actually the gauge, and then there's a tiny little piece of plastic in here. I don't know if you can see that little green thing, but you sit in there and it smushes down, and then you compare it to this scale here on the side in order to show you how much clearance it is. That's actually what the Toyota manual says to do. Pretty cool. We'll get started on that. Okay, so I finished the rough install. I'm gonna take these caps off again. It's very important you do not turn the crankshaft while this plastic gauge is in there. First time getting to use a new torque wrench. Bought it specifically for this job. I have some other ones, but none of them are as nice as this. In the instructions, it actually told me something I didn't know. You're supposed to exercise a torque wrench by cranking it. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. See why nobody ever does this. Crank it all the way up to 250 and then all the way back down to the lowest spectrum. It's like 60 or 20, I think it's 20. I don't know. We'll see. You're supposed to do it 3 times. Aggressively bring these up. There it is. I think this one is right there too. Yep. Now we just take it off. Let me check the plastic gauge. Jesus, motherfucker, come on. The hardest part is that the stand wants to move. There we go. Best touch tool I've ever bought. Highly recommend. So it looks like 0.038. I will show you guys on the GoPro. Hold on, let me get a little closer. You see that? Lines right up with that. And that is right in the middle of the standard clearance. 0.038 mil is right between the standard clearances are 0.025 and 0.055.
Picasso is sucrose.
On the camera.
It's fuzzy.
It's fuzzy. Oh, did I forget to take it off of? Oh no! I forgot to put it back on autofocus. It wasn't that long.
Let's redo it.
It wasn't that long.
Let's fake it.
There we go. That's fine. Okay. It's been a while since I've done that. Done the camera stuff.
You know what, dude?
Huh.
I'm really looking forward to next week.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be awesome.
We don't have to go. We can just kick it. Or we can. I gotta see what Johnny's doing. I want Johnny to come.
That'd be cool.
Real cool. I'm gonna hit the sack. You gotta make sure this is locked. You gonna go out the front door? Or what are you gonna do?
I'll probably just jump the garage door.
All right.
Or I'll just
Use
go
your
out
key
that.
and lock this.
I got the key to lock that. Lock that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lock it so you can go to the bathroom. Plenty of drinks, drink whatever. Dude, this is your house. This is your home. You know, you're my son. This is not your home. You grew up here.
Juicy, all torqued up, all specced out. It's beautiful. So we just got the crankshaft torqued down and installed. New bearings in, new crankshaft in. So that's one big first step checked off the list. Pretty cool. First time I ever did that. Next will be the pistons, rod bearings. I'm going to change out. Got new rod bearings. So just give you an overview of what's going on here. We got the old crankshaft. There's some clutch bolts, old clutch. I don't think this is called a flex plate, but something, some rear engine cover. I'm not really sure. Dipstick, flywheel, all that there. The engine crane. Here's the actual truck, 87 4Runner. I'm sure I've already said that a million times. Front diffs out.
Maybe show them
all
guys
over the place.
Oh.
There's my dad. Talking about guys' weekend up at the property in Utah. Larryland. Going up there. And was it next weekend? Not this weekend, but next weekend. Here's all of the other parts
17
that I have. Intake manifold, exhaust. There's new head somewhere in here. The whole mess. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Hood's up there. It's all over the place. Starter, alternator, all over here. Got the transmission, 2 engine block bolts. These are like some braces, pretty hardcore braces for such a weak engine. It's just super overbuilt. Toyota does crazy. Engine makes like 112 horsepower from the factory, and it's built like a tank. It's insane. What else we got? I got a new fuel filter. Already installed that. To give a little backstory, I thought this was just going to be a timing chain job, and I originally just bought a timing chain kit from LC Engineering. They sent me the wrong timing chain, 2 links too long, and then once I got that installed, I did a leak down test and found that the valves were bent on the head, and then...
Hey Andrew,
Yeah?
you need some rags?
Rags? Sure.
Yeah, like t-shirts.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. The valves were bent on the head, and so I had to replace the head. So I pulled the head, and then while I was at it, I had to clean out the oil pan from all of the shrapnel from the timing cover exploding when the chain jumped down on the crank sprocket. A little piece of the guide fell down there, and that's what started this whole mess. And then when I was in there, in the oil pan, I was like, I'm gonna pull. Screw it. I'm gonna pull the one rod bearing on one main bearing, and check them out just while I'm in there. Might as well. And I look, and they are trashed, just garbage, disgusting. But this truck is awesome, and this has been. I've learned a lot, and I'm not getting close to being done. But this truck, it's an SR5, so it's got the cool altimeter and tip gauge, and it's got a 3-inch body lift on it. My buddy, longtime fan, basically my cousin, owned this truck before, and he was shipping out to the Army to go to basic, and he sold it to me, and he had done the lift, I believe, and put the tires on, and it looks awesome. This truck just is a monster off-road. I've done some crazy stuff in it, even with the messed up engine. So I'm very excited to get it back on the road and go do some more wheeling. So these here are the pistons that were in there. I decided to reuse them because they look pretty new. They look really nice. The top is all carboned up, but I cleaned them all off as best as I could, or best as I wanted to. And the skirts, this is where it wears a lot. You gotta look, and there's not a lot of scoring. It's a little bit, but not enough to warrant getting only pistons and rods and everything. These things look in decent shape. The rings look great. And they make good compression and power before. So yeah, I'm just gonna clean up the other pistons and get these installed. So how I'm cleaning this up is I'm just using brake clean and oil, and actually I'm not using brake clean right now, I'm just using the oil that's on here, and a little bit of Scotch-Brite, dirty Scotch-Brite. I just had it laying around the shop. I should probably be using fresh, but whatever. And just getting the big stuff off, really. Just off any sharp edges, knocking them down on the edge of the piston here, and in between the rings. It's just light, very light, not scrubbing super hard, and just cleaning it up, making it look fresh again. Not like anyone's ever going to see this once it's inside the engine, but I'll know it's there and I'll know it's clean. Carbon buildup on the top of your piston can lead to hot spots and detonation. So heat transfers through aluminum really, really well, right? Like it'll transfer through, go to the cylinder walls. It's all good, but you get a bunch of carbon caked on top of here. The carbon acts like an insulator, which will reduce the amount of heat that can transfer from the combustion area into the piston and there into the cooling system. Cooling engine will stay in the combustion area, increasing combustion temperature, and that can lead to knock, detonation, pre-detonation, where you're experiencing the gasoline, the air-fuel mixture exploding before the spark plug actually goes off, which can cause massive engine failure, like rods through the fucking side of the crank. I don't think this engine, honestly, it really makes that big of a difference. This thing maybe makes 100 horsepower, so its threshold for knock it's probably never ever knocked or will never knock, unless the timing is completely way off, and that's not actually knock, that's just terrible timing. But I'm rambling. Anyways. All right, so I got all the bearings out of the rods. I just want to show you guys up close those marks. So that's piston 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can also tell these little notches in the piston point towards the front of the engine, so like towards the radiator, the front of the truck. It's being a inline 4 transverse mounted. Inline 4. Oh wait, longitudinal. Transverse would be this way. Longitudinal. Yeah. Right? I think it's longitudinal. Yeah, because Chevy transmissions are like a 4L60 is 4-speed, longitudinally mounted, 6,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. I think. I don't know. Don't listen to me. Clean the pistons before assembling them. I'm gonna go grab, you go through a lot of brake cleaner when you buy it by the box. Second can since today. Just today. That one's almost empty. I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm gonna take these all out to the street, I guess. Yeah, I'll just take them all out one by one. Do the armpit can with the GoPro. Okay, we're gonna install the pistons. Just gonna get the block ready. So let's put the bearings in. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. Yikes! I think it'll be okay. Okay, so my camera just said movie recording stopped automatically, so it timed out. Hopefully you guys didn't miss too much. This is kind of boring. Probably gonna fast forward through a lot of this stuff, but I just got all the pistons in. Let me show you again. About to torque them all down. I don't know why I love to do that with just one hand. Ta-da! Pistons are in there, as you can see. It's working down now. I don't know why I did too much in this one, so I was like, oh, I might as well do way too much in all of them. I'm a okay. But this feels great. This makes me very happy. I think that's where I'm gonna end it for tonight. It's getting pretty late. Got the whole bottom end built. That's a short block build. So building the short block, 22RE, 87 4Runner, SR5, 4x4. Hell yeah. Chopped.